Alright, it's Friday night. The fry are 1 week old today. I'd say they've at least doubled in size. It's hard to see in this tank. I've got it turned a long ways. But they're still eating the pellets just mushed up. Just hitting them with the hammer, and they're still getting after them. I've cleared out the breeding tank. I've moved the tubes in the bucket and moved all that into the main tank, and I did that this afternoon. I still have these tiny little white worms. I've kind of throttled down on the feeding, seeing if I can get rid of those. But I mean, when you step away, you don't see them. I mean, they really look like bubbles at worst. But I went and bought some LED lights to put in that smaller tank. They were getting too big for the breeder net, so I've got some LED lights to go in there just so you can see them a little better. The plan now is to move the extra pump that I have. You can see the white line here. I'm going to do testing before I get it PVC mounted together, but it's going to have a line that's going to pump up into the what will be the breeding tank, just the grow out tank, I guess the best way to describe it. That will overflow into two floating beds that I'm going to do lettuce and have my try at being able to do duckweed. Then that will, and there'll just be a drain that they'll drain back down and back into the sump. So what it'll do is it'll tie the water from both tanks, both big tanks, into the main system. My plan is to use this for as they make babies, to either move the one, if I can move them without spitting the eggs out, I'll move them in the tank. If they spit the eggs out, I'm going to rig up a McDonald's jar. I think I've got a design where that's going to work fairly efficiently, and just overflow into a net until I get them all done. And then once they get big enough, a week or so, move them over here, and once they're big enough that they're not going to suck up into the filter, move back in the main tank, and just kind of have a cycle. And then just so we're not killing off fry. But I moved these back in here today, and it took one whole afternoon, and we've got another one that is got some eggs. So this is it. I tried all week I made a little the PVC caves in the big bucket cave, and nothing. I still think just having the aquarium open to a classroom with 80 some odd middle schoolers coming in and out and looking just did not set the mood. But in this tank, it didn't take too long, and I've got one for sure, and there's enough in there. We had two this past week with them, so I think my guess is this is my one male. It's my best I'd come up with. I think I haven't pulled them out and actually sexed them to see what they all are, but my best guess, just because size and such, I just got the one male, and here's the female with eggs again. So that'll give me, today's the first day, so that'll give me a little over a week to get the McDonald's jar thing going. And if I'm gonna try to, as soon as I get it where I think it'll work correctly, I'm gonna test it out, go ahead and flush the eggs out of her if I can, and see if I can get the McDonald's jar to go. I know that when the last one spit the eggs out, and even the live ones, I'd say I lost more than half. I wouldn't say 2/3 of them, but more than half were gone. And in here, they're all kind of spread out. It's hard to see, but I'm thinking at least 50, 60, if not more. It's hard to see, but the further you go back, you can see that it's fairly dense with them fry. So anyways, there's the update from 1 week after having the first fry, and plants are going off. I've harvested one. I left a little stub of that red cell lettuce. Here's one that's looked like it was dead, and it decided to come back. This one's growing into my light. I've got to raise it or trim it back, one or the other. I had a couple different types of, I think it was the Butter Crunch, and then I still have not yet got the light for this in. I've really got to get that installed. I've got a jalapeno plant that's just not doing too well. So anyways, update for April 26th, I think it is. So